on, tell us about Red Rocket.
Okay,
I've heard good things about this film, and
What
no,
was that?
no, no,
What was that, Holly?
Daddy.
Oh,
no,
right.
no,
Okay.
no, no. Sure,
Uh,
Holly, I don't need it in 2 ears. I don't need
okay.
it in stereo.
Well, you know, with me with films, I can go through a brief synopsis and then have the
Yeah, yeah,
theory.
yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I did a review a while ago with the Florida Project, which I really, really liked. It's
Yep.
directed by the Sean Baker. So they're not like major films, big blockbuster films. But they're like character studies. So this basically is about Mickey. He returns to his hometown, which is in Texas Sabre, which is like one of those oil factory towns, typical as you can imagine, Texas town. And he's a bit destitute, and he gets back together with his old wife, or he goes to his old wife, and eventually moves in. And then he says, "Oh, you can move in. You've got to get a job. You've got to get a job." And he goes to these jobs, and he says, they said, "Oh, you got a long gap in your resume. You know, what did you used to do?" And he says, "Well, I was an adult film star. I was a porn." So he doesn't get those sort of jobs. So he ends up going to see some people, some other characters, to sell marijuana, and then he gets back with his wife, and they're related, go out to celebrate, and he sees this younger girl, and sort of strikes up a relationship with it. And it's just a real all these different characters, you know, really no one's, you know, there's not a lot of money. It's pretty small town, a bit of a soap opera, which it's just it's just really good. All the characters are really, really good. You know, obviously there's different situations where, you know, they get beaten up. You've got your druggy type dealers. You've got a mate of his that really likes him, but he wants to pretend to be he was like a veteran, and even though he wasn't, you know, and he gets beaten up in the mall, and it's just he goes around on a bicycle around this. So the scenery of, I suppose, a bit like Nomadland and films like that. I really, really like those sort of films, you know, which yeah, just all these different characters. Nothing really, really much happens except you know, bits here where you, as I say, you meet different people. He goes to shops, you know, and he goes and sees different people, and they have conversations. And it's not really about anything in particular. It's just a character study of how people live, which I really, really quite like. You know, there's as I say, the films that I have liked, Florida Project, Nomadland. And it's not like, even though he was an adult film star, even though he was a porn star, there's all Cammy there. It's not, you know, it's not seedy or sordid, or there's, you know, there is a little bit of it's not like graphic or anything like that, but there's obviously the moments where you do get those sort of scenes. And it's just a really, really good film about people, how people live, and you know, fairly, no one's got lots of money. Look at little Kemi there, wondering what's going on. So yeah, so just to say, it's just situations with just life really. You know, there's not too much action. There's a lot of scenery of factories and oil rigs and the shops and towns and places and people, lots of people. You know, obviously not particularly rich people. There's some unsavory characters. There's some great characters. Pardon?
When was this made, Shawnee? Is it quite a recent thing?
Yeah, 2019. 2019
okay.
It was made. So, or 20, might even be 2020 or 21. I think
it came out, and it was a bit of a splash during that whole COVID period where they were still trying to eke films out. So okay. I think I heard about it 2020, 2021.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, because I know the guy who plays the main character, I can't remember his name. But
Simon Rex.
Yes,
Rex.
Yeah, he won like the Independent Spirit Award for the best actor last year. Like everybody was talking about it, and they say a lot of this film sort of rests on his performance.
Yeah, I mean, he is totally believable as like a character that, in fact, do you know one of those characters that is flawed, but you can have sympathy with, if you know what I mean? It's flawed, not particularly, but you can, because he's just trying, man. He's just trying to do his best. You know, he wants to survive. He's like, and he's sort of got to play off all these people, and they're quite nasty to him, you know, and they're nice but nasty to him. Like his wife's, his ex-wife or his wife's mother-in-law's there, and she's like, Well, yeah, you can. You know what I mean? She sits on the thing, and they look at him with disdain and all that. But yeah, he's a sympathetic character, I think.
Okay, that's interesting because everything else I've heard about this character says that he's an absolute, like, he's selfish. He only ever thinks about himself.
He's probably a bit like me then, Toad. That's why I sympathise with him. I'm a bit like that, I think. No, I was like, I could imagine. No, perhaps I couldn't imagine myself being like that. But yeah, I mean, he wants to. As I say, he's flawed. He wants to, he's got these wonderful ideas which he loves to put into fruition, but it's just not going to happen for him.
Okay, so Sean, you might have mentioned this already, but I just wanted to ask. So, from what I understand, that a big part of this film is about a relationship between him and somebody who is many, many years younger than him.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the donut owner, Strawberry.
And how he sees her as his way back to the big time, almost kind of a thing.
Yeah, so, he does. He does. Yeah, but I mean, to me, there is that in it, and that's like the underlying thing why things sort of go wrong for him, because he spends a weekend away with her, and that's when he gets the idea. He thinks apparently there's a thing they're called suitcase men or something, where they live off the earnings of pimps, if you like, but they do it more with like their
porn
girls
stars,
working with porn stars, and he's got this idea that it'd be a good job to make a little bit of money, So, but I mean, to be fair, this Strawberry, she's not an innocent character. She's pretty what's the word?
World-wise.
Worldwise,
worldly
and promiscuous and all that. Because there's a scene where she's got like a high school. Oh yeah, that's right. There's he gets her to ditch her boyfriend who's got like a bit of a rough family, like your big, fat, bold, with the tattoos, beer drinking that comes up and decides to give him a little bit of a good hiding. You know what I mean? And then there's these other marijuana sellers that he's been doing some work for that basically rob him of everything. So yeah, I mean, he gets his comeuppance, but. It's not like I said before. It's not seedy or sordid, or it's just. I think it's a really, really good character study of all people that are in this movie. As I say, it's very much like very, very much like the Florida Project or American Honey. It's in that sort of vein, those, and I really enjoy those sort of films because,
Yeah, I think Sean Baker is making that a bit of a trademark of his. Yeah, like just of like real people on screen.
Real life.
I think a lot. He works with a lot of non-professional actors. So most of his films are cast with non-professional actors. So if you ever want to be in a film, just go find out where Sean Baker is and just go hang around.
Go find him.
I actually reckon Sean Baker would love you. I reckon that you're the kind of person that Sean Baker would just walk over and be like, "How do you get those pins in your head?"
Yeah.
How did you get those pins in your head?
Oh well, there you go. That is the story to tell, isn't it? I will let you into
Oh! He's actually gonna tell. Okay,
I might. Not
now. But maybe later on. Maybe later on.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe later. Maybe another time.
I know.
Good. So Sean, how many stars would you give?
4 stars.
4 stars for Red
Rocket. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
I was about to call it the Florida Project.
Yeah. So I like those sort of films. I really enjoy those type of films.